Good morning, everyone. It's the start of a new week. I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying the good weather, if you're having good weather wherever you are. I've just been out to get some shopping and it's quite hot here. So, and while I was out shopping, I noticed in the shop that the Halloween stuff's in. Really? I suppose that's just a smidgen. That is just a smidgen better than it being Christmas stuff. But yeah, the Halloween stuff is in already. Absolutely nuts. But I know that the shops are always a season ahead. I am going to keep this one short again, or I'm going to try and keep this one short again. And I'm not going to waffle. I'm going to try and not waffle. So I had 2 poems published yesterday. One was on Hotel by My Stickador, and the other one was My Stickador Canada. So I've had 2 published over the weekend. The one for Canada was for a thematic theme, which was women. So I did submit 4 poems, and I have gradually been posting them over the course of the month. I have not really had a chance to go through my poems again to try and decide any ones for a possible new collection. I've just not had it. I have been quite but I have improved dramatically since I started this channel. I have been writing quite prolifically this week. There was one day I wrote 5 poems, so I've not really had the opportunity to go through my poems again. I know that I have so many poems, and it is very difficult to try and choose which one will go in a collection. But as I say, I do want this one to be rather than one filled with pain, although I know Pieces of Me was not entirely filled with pain. I do want this one to be a healing, empowering collection. And as I keep saying as well, I'm not putting pressure on myself by saying I've not got a timeline. I just go with the flow as and when things happen. What else? What else has been happening? Oh yeah, so the postcards. So the postcards I have put on eBay. I've put them on eBay. If you look at the listing, I did say that I did make a point of explaining about the border that I missed out. I have priced the postcard below £5 because I am paying for the postage, and I think that's reasonable. I don't really know how much these things normally cost because I've never bought one. So I priced it below just over the £4 because I'm paying for the postage. I will only be shipping in the UK, nowhere anywhere else. That might come if they take off. As it goes, it might be I might have completely wasted my money, and if that's the case, then I might just come on here and give them away as a freebie. We'll see. It's early days yet. I am trying to make a listing for coffee, KOFI. Once I've got the 2 listings up and how I want them, then I will put the links in the community section. But I have a feeling, maybe I'm wrong, that I've wasted, as I say, my father's favourite expression, and I've said that, I might have mentioned it before, was nothing ventured, nothing gained. It was just an idea that popped into my head, and I thought I might have actually been better going with the poem that I originally had thought of using. I'm not sure. You just never know. You never know, and it's the same with the books. You just never know. And the buying public are fickle. People in general are fickle. You know, somebody who is a star tonight can be, fail tomorrow. That's the thin line that there is. I'm sorry, my nose is running. I don't know why. It usually only runs in the winter time. Please excuse me. So that's where we're at, guys. Today's poem is called Destination or Journey. It probably should have been Journey or Destination. And I called it that. It is to do with freedom, but I called it that because I have this tendency to write poems and call them all the same, and I don't know why I do it, and then I have to change the names when I'm searching for them. I have no system on my computer, which is probably wrong as well, that I hold them in different categories. They're all in one file, as I say, over 1,000, plus the ones on Grammarly. It's not a good system, really, but it's, So I wrote this poem basically because I'd seen it on WordPress, and some of the writers on WordPress were responding to a prompt that was to do with freedom. And I think that the word freedom, I think, can mean different things to different people. Obviously, we sitting in our houses and me sitting here talking to you on the PC, I could say that I am free, but I have a different, because my perspective on things seems to vary a great deal from other people. I don't know if that's because I write or it's just the way I am because I'm so deep. I don't know, but my personal perspective is that none of us are really truly free. None of us. We all have, from my personal view, I could say I'm free now because I'm out of that relationship, but I know I'm not. I know I'm not, because in here is all the dirt that's left, the residue, and it's still there, and I make no, I don't try and scrub over it and say, you know me, I always say I'm not healed, and I'm not. So yes, I am not in the thick of it anymore, but I still carry it within my mind. We're governed by politicians that tell us, that give us rules, regulations, da. So this is why I say, are we any of us, are we truly free? And from another perspective, as I wrote in the poem, what I say in the poem is, apart from the final closing lines of the poem, I say that to be free is probably along the lines of what I said within the lines of the poem Naked, which would be showing up as you are, no matter what you look like, what societal norms dictate, and walking down the street with your head held high and saying, "This is me." That is my take on freedom, because As we know, societal norms dictate that, and especially in this era, in the era of social media and blah blah and blah blah blah, we should all be like this. We should all dress a certain way. We should all, conform to the trends. I don't follow any trends. I am in my own lane, and I don't give, and I'm not going to swear, I do not care what anybody else is doing. And I don't care if they're ahead of me or behind me, because we are all supposed to be human. I care about what I'm doing, and what I do, I must do to the best of my ability. And the best of my ability varies from day to day because I have an illness. But that's by the by too. I don't follow any trends. I'm Gen X. I grew up without a mobile phone, without a PC, without TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I don't follow any trends, and I have no wish to follow any trends. I am in my own lane, and I am concentrating on what I'm doing in my path. And as long as I keep moving forward, as I said in the poem, I am never going back, which I'm not. Don't try and drag me back the way, because I'm not going back, because I know how far I've come and what I've achieved so far. And on another subject altogether, success means different things to different people, and I am more than happy with all the little wins I get with regards to having submissions accepted and all the different other good things that have happened, rather than focusing on the top, the summit of the mountain. The summit of the mountain would be absolutely fabulous, but all the little steps in between are what is going to take you there. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that I failed. It does not mean that I failed. But I am going off at a tangent. So I'm nearly 15 minutes. I am going to finish up by reading this poem. And if you like, you can drop a comment in the box below and you can tell me what freedom means to you. Is freedom a journey or a destination? If I baptize myself in an ocean of holy water, will it wash away my sin? And upon resurrection of my soul, can I then say, I am free? No one on earth is beyond law or societal norms. That said, our flaws need not be held up to the light for examination. Perfection like freedom does not exist. I believe freedom is allowing the world to judge us regardless of what they choose to see, and having the courage to say, this is me. And having the courage to say this is me. Only in the act of wrongdoing should the world or society dictate. But ultimately, freedom is a bird that soars, landing where it pleases. And for that kind of freedom, I would happily pay. I'm sorry for the little boo-boo towards the end. I used to do that quite a lot when I first started this channel. Every second word would be a boo-boo. I have gotten better, thankfully, over time. As always, thank you all so very much for being here. I do appreciate you all for all the views and the likes and the comments. It does mean a great deal to me, especially as I've had this poem for I'm excelling with the mistakes today, especially as I have had this channel for quite some time. I do appreciate each and every one of you. As I say, once the postcards, I have the listings, I will put it in the community section. If they don't sell, they don't sell. The world will not come to an end because they've not sold, and I will just give them away here as a thank you. Okay, until Friday, I hope you all have a very good week, and I hope that all is well in your world, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye for now.